Hello, folks, and welcome to the channel. Today, I thought I'd show you my toy room, and specifically my G.I. Joe collection and other toys as well. And I thought that I would show you all this because I did have a series showing part of the collection. So today, I'm going to show you the rest of the collection. Stay tuned. In the last episode of Saturday Nostalgia, I showed the Cobra side of my G.I. Joe collection and specifically spoke about how my first ever G.I. Joe toy was the Cobra Fang, which I got on my 10th birthday, and the Cobra Eel that I thought would make a great pilot for it. If you haven't seen that episode, then stick to the end. I'll put a link in at the very end, and you can go back and watch it if you'd like. But today, I thought I'd focus on my G.I. Joe side of the collection. And in particular, going through a few of the Joes. I'd like to put my collection in diorama format. I just think that it looks really good. If I had all the space in the world, I'd probably put two ping pong tables together and just dress it up like this and have a big battle scene between the Joes and the Cobras. But I don't have that much room. In fact, this whole G.I. Joe collection is in a closet in my office in our spare bedroom. That's what I've been allotted, and that's okay with me as well. I kind of like having uh, organized and put in a place where I can keep it all together. So the diorama here that I made, most of this background scenery here, so the grass, this came from Michaels, and you can buy these things in big spools, and you just cut it out to whatever dimensions that you need. You put it down. The moss as well, and the trees, those are also purchased at Michaels. They have these sort of diorama kits that you can buy, and you're supposed to build the scenery that they have on the cover. But I just took it apart and used it to build my own diorama, and then just put it together. The background is something I got off Amazon. It's an aquarium background. I think that you're supposed to somehow stick it inside the aquarium or outside, or I'm not sure how it's applied. But here I just used some tape, put it up, put it on the background, and and I thought it looked really good. Looks like the Joes are out in the wilderness doing their thing, going on a mission, and really like that. Um, the pebbles as well, that came part of the package with the diorama kit that I bought. So I just took out the pebbles and I put it down there. I think it just adds a little bit more to the actual scenery. So the Joes that I have here, obviously that rock is just something that anybody can just get outside, and that's where I got that one from. So these are some of the Joes that I have. So we have here Gung Ho, Tripwire, Lieutenant Falcon in the background, Rakondo, Lowlight was a GI Joe that I had as a child. Leatherneck, Breaker, Hawk, Duke, Spirit, and Freedom. Got Stalker back there with Thunder on the Slam. Great little vehicle. And there's a Hit and Run and Dusty and Shockwave. Hit and Run is a interesting character for me because it's outside of the collection of the years that I want to collect, which is mainly from 83 to 86, with some from 87. Basically, when the Sunbow cartoons were around, and that's something that I really enjoyed as a kid. So the other characters that came afterwards are characters that I really didn't know, and I'm just starting to figure out now. But these are the ones that I want to put into my collection. Footloose, one of my favorites as a kid, had him. Rock and Roll. And then we have here the Mauler. Tunnel Rat, right here at the very front. It's a figure that I wanted, but I never had as a child. Airborne, got a Tan Grunt. Outback, Beachhead, and Doc is right at the very back here. He's got a stretcher. The Mauler was the very first G.I. Joe vehicle that I received as a child. I got that for Christmas of '86, and that was after I received the Fang for my birthday. Birthday's in December, so got these two gifts really together, and this was really the first GI Joe vehicle that I had. So when I started collecting, this was certainly the vehicle that I needed to get, and I had to buy some repros to finish off the tank. I had to the grenade launchers and the antennas, as well as some of the mud flaps. As those are things that I had to go and purchase as well. Um, a few, I think a few weeks ago, I had a friend ask me actually, well, who's your favorite Joe? Who's the one that you like the most? And my favorite Joe as a kid was Heavy Metal, and he hardly appeared in the commercial. It's not in the commercial, but in the cartoon. I think he had one episode, but I really liked Heavy Metal because he was the first Joe that I had, and him and the Cobra Eel were the first two GI Joes that I had, and they had epic battles for about 3 or 4 months until Easter when I was allowed to, or when I got my next batch of Joes and Cobras. So, Heavy Metal was certainly my favorite GI Joe as a kid. And yes, I the Eel was my favorite Cobra, and Storm Shadow was also somebody that I always wanted as a child and never had. But Heavy Metal is my favorite, continues to be my favorite, and obviously he's with his Mauler, something that I got back in 1986 of Christmas, and there's a story behind that too, and I'll tell that story just a little bit later when I get to another vehicle. But there you go. That is not Heavy Metal. What is it? The microphone there. That is a repro, so that's not the original. I wasn't going to shell out the money that people are asking for that. So that's a repro that I received. So really great collection that I have here. It's ever growing, but I don't have many pieces left to complete it. So there's a good chunk of them. The stalker's missing his thumbs, but that's okay. It's I like the Joes, not always complete, because I like putting them in dioramas, and sometimes when they are complete, they don't look right. And having a few battle scars here and there, it's okay with me. So that's one of the dioramas that I have. This is the Mauler diorama, so I'll show you my next diorama. So this is another GI Joe diorama that I'm still working on. I've changed it a few times, and I don't like how things are turning out on it. So what I have here is the same concept. So I have the same type of ground that I used in the other diorama. Same, I think it was the same roll that I got from Michaels. The blue little rocks that look like water, and the other smaller rocks, the gravel. I got that as well from Michaels, and the rocks, the bigger ones, the boulders, I just got from outside. The moss is something that came part of that diorama kit, and I've added it to this diorama as well. And same thing with the background. It's just another aquarium background that I thought would look great back there. But in this particular diorama, I have the Ostriker out, and I have some Joes out. Yeah, starting off with Mutt and Junkyard, Law and Order, Cross Country, Sci-Fi, Cover Girl, Dial Tone, Lady J, Crankcase with the Ostriker, and a fantastic Ostriker. I have a fellow that I get a lot of these pieces from, and he has some really quality stuff, and which is great. He doesn't live too far, so I get to skip out on the eBay shipping charges and the taxes and all that stuff. So we just work out a deal, and we get something. Big Ben is a character I knew nothing about as a child, but I just saw him at a toy show that I was at, and I thought he looked really great. So I did purchase him, and he is in the diorama, and I am going to keep him here. I have the Ram Cycle, and then there's Sergeant Slaughter. This particular Sergeant Slaughter was a figure that I wanted as a child, but I never received him because he was really difficult to get. And so when I did have a chance to purchase him, I did. I got him off eBay, and he's pretty clean, and he's got all the paint and the decals that I remember on this particular Sergeant Slaughter, which was the mail away, I think. So happy to have gotten him here in the collection. I got Quick Kick, and I have here Blowtorch. And then I have the Skyhawk here. The Skyhawk is something I wasn't planning on purchasing, but again, I was at a toy show, and you know how these things go. You look at it and you think, oh well, that might look great in the collection, and you end up purchasing it, and then you end up trying to figure out a place to put it. So this is something that I'm considering here. I got Slipstream piloting the Skyhawk. Just bought one of these little items from the dollar store to put it up. Not sure exactly how I'm going to put it yet, but we'll see how it goes. This mountain here is something that I built, and I wanted it to look like a mountain, and it didn't turn out that well. It's built out of styrofoam. I cut it out and I put it together, and then I try to put some cotton balls underneath to try to make it look better. But I don't like it, and it's probably going to come down. Um, anyways, I thought it would be a place to put all the snow joes. I think that the snow joes would just look funny, and sort of being in the jungle with all the green just wouldn't look quite right. So I built this from them. I don't like it. I'm going to change it. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They might get another mountain, a better one, or I might just put them in the APC that I also have, and I intend to put it here at some point. But anyways, there's Frostbite, there's Snowjob. His ski fell off his back, and it's behind the mountain somewhere, so I gotta dig it out. I have the Storm Shadow back here. Again, another figure I wasn't planning on getting, but it's Storm Shadow, and he's 1988 outside of that range that I wanted him. But I thought, well, he looks so great, I thought I'd get him. And then another one of my personal favorites from childhood, Iceberg. So I have Iceberg here in the back. So this is what it looks like now. What I plan on doing is getting rid of that mountain. I have an APC, and I can show you that right here as we go back up. So I have an APC, as you can see, and I plan on putting that down there, removing the mountain, then putting the Joes inside, and somehow having the canopy open so you can actually see the Joes. And I'll have to work on that. So that's what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do with those Snow Joes. Maybe they are going to go inside the APC. Maybe I'll get a different, smaller type of mountain that I can put there. I'm not sure, but that's the plan for now. I got to work also on the Skyhawk. I'd like it in the air like that, but I'm not sure how I'm going to put it. Just running out of room. So that is diorama number 2, and move on to diorama number 3. Here is diorama number 3. Now, diorama number 3. I'm quite not finished here. You'll see a transformer in the background. I think it suits it well, considering the upcoming movie that's coming up in June with the Transformer and G.I. Joe collaboration. But right here is my Grail. This is the vehicle that I always wanted as a child, and I never got. It is absolutely fantastic, and it is in absolutely great shape. Let me see if I can get it in here so we can all see. The vehicle, I mean, those veins back there are always broken, and that one is in perfect, great condition. Nothing's missing, nothing's broken. It has the bike as well with it. Get an overhead shot here. It's a little bit tight, but it comes with the bike. It has all the depth chargers, has all the missiles. Everything works, including the spring action at the very front. So all of it works, and nothing is broken. Everything is complete, and it's absolutely perfect. I wanted this particular toy back in 1986, Christmas of 1986. And at the time, in my household, Santa Claus was something that was a fictional character. My parents, they never went along with that. Santa Claus is the fellow that brings the gifts. They wanted well known that it was indeed them it was their hard-earned money that was going out and buying these things. But Christmas was coming up in 1986, and my mother asked me, well, think about what you want for Christmas. Christmas was always the big toy. Birthday was a smaller toy. Again, my birthday was close to Christmas, so Couldn't get spoiled, at least not that year. And I got the Fang for my birthday with the eel, but Christmas was the big toy. So we used to have a consumer distributing outlet out here where I lived, and we'd get those catalog books. And I went through that catalog book, and I must have studied those 2 pages on GI Joe for what seemed like months. And this was the thing that I wanted for Christmas of 1986. It was this particular vehicle, and as the months rolled on, and as we got closer to Christmas Day, when it came day to actually go and pick up the toy, and this was before Christmas, I was asked, "Well, what is it that you want?" And for some particular reason, I instead chose the Mauler over the Whale, and I'm not unhappy with that selection. That is still one of my favorite vehicles. It's still one that's in my collection, and very happy with it. But there was also some regret, as I had planned for months to get this vehicle for Christmas. I changed my mind at the last minute, and I thought to myself, well, I'll get it in the future sometime. But as the next year rolled around and the next birthday and Christmas came about, when I would get these bigger toys, this was gone. This was sold out, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I couldn't get it anywhere, and it was just a myth after that point. So I never got it. Almost 40 years later, it took to get this. And I have seen a few of these in the past, but they're always broken. They're always missing pieces, and they're really outrageous prices for what I usually see out there. But when I saw this one, when I went to a toy show last year out in Vancouver, this was out there, and it was complete, and it was by somebody who is reputable and somebody who is very trustworthy, and somebody that I bought from before many other items. And he had taken quite a bit of time and care to sort of buy a bunch of these whales and mix the parts and take pieces off one whale and put it on the other to complete a whole whale, and that's what you see here. And I absolutely just love it, and I bought it from the gentleman. That fellow's name escapes me, but he's the owner of one of the retailers out here by the name of Toy Lords. A fantastic shop. I'm not getting any thing from him, so I'm not shilling from him. But this is just my honest opinion of him. Prices are always great, and I ended up buying a whole bunch of different toys, but this was really the key. And I brought it home, and it sat on my desk in my office for a few weeks, just admiring it. This was something that I always wanted as a kid, a thing that always escaped me, and finally I had it. 40 years. It took me 40 years, but I did get it. Um, so of course, I've had to pack it up with all the Joes on there, and you'll see them, from Lifeline and Flint, and of course Snake Eyes. I thought, the most recognizable GI Joe of all, and I put him on the Whale, which is probably the best vehicle that I have and in my collection. I have a few other guys in there, so I have Mainframe, and I have, oh, his name escapes me now, but I have a few other Joes in there. Airborne, um, no, not Airborne. Anyways, his name escapes me. I have Roblox. I have Barbecue in there as well. You might see him through the glass. And Cutter, of course. I have Shipwreck, Torpedoes on there, Deep Six, and then have Jinx. Didn't really have a place for Jinx, so I thought I'd put her down there, coming out of the little firing boat. And also, then I also have Wetsuit. Thought he'd look great swimming there in the water. Just put him on one of those case stands. The water itself, it's another aquarium piece. It's a little background that you can put on the back of your aquarium. I'm not quite finished yet. I have a few more of these, so I intend to cut them out and put them to measurement there, so the whole base there is complete in water. And I have to find still some sort of background, because that whatever it is back there, the comforter, doesn't seem to really set the scene here. But there you go. The sound wave that I have here, that's the sound wave that Hasbro, I think it was Hasbro, produced a few years ago. It's the sound wave that transforms into the Thunder Machine. And when I saw Soundwave was one of the few Transformers that I had as a child. And when I saw this particular Soundwave, the one that transforms into the Thunder Machine that came with Zartan and Zarana, I had to purchase it. And I didn't really have another place for it. And I thought, well, it looks really good here, so I can make it look like some sort of battle scene where he's coming out of the water and he's attacking the Joes. Who knows? We might see that in the upcoming movie. Maybe, maybe not. But he's a nightmare to transform. I mean, it took me a long time and a lot of YouTube video watching to transform this guy, and a lot of swearing and cursing. But I finally transformed him into the car mode, and then I transformed him back into robot mode, and he's never going to get transformed again because I'm not going through that nightmare again. Those things are just an absolute nightmare to transform. I don't know what the other ones are like, the other combos that I've seen out there, the Megatron, and who's the other one? Was it Hound or Bumblebee? I can't remember. But yeah, that's I'm not buying any other ones, and I'm certainly not transforming that one. He looks great as he is, and that's the way he's staying. So that's what I have here in the cabinet. Let me show you what else I have. There is the aforementioned APC. As I already said, that's going to get moved, and it's going to get moved to my diorama, the one with the river scene in it. I remember this thing back in, it had to be in 83 or 84, so I must have been about 7 or 8. And I went to some I don't know who they were, friends of my parents, and they had two little boys. And I remember the two little boys taking me into the room and showing me this, and I thought, oh, great, that's awesome looking little truck. I didn't know anything about GI Joe at the time. I was too young. And they showed me this, and I go, oh, that's a great truck. It's got big wheels. That's nice. And then they took the canopy off. And when you take the canopy off, and it was just full of Joes seated, they must have had it completely full with Joes. And I just thought, oh, wow, that's super cool. So it's not something I was planning on getting in my collection. It's just something that I saw for a great price, and it looks great. So I thought I'd add to it. But behind the APC, there's also more. Now, when the classified line came out, I wasn't really on planning on getting it. It's not the 3 and 3/4 inch figures that we all do as children. It was something completely new. But as I started to look at some of these and just seeing that they're really just really wonderful pieces of artwork, and obviously, I don't plan on getting them all. I don't plan on getting much more than this. And I apologize for the glare. I'm trying to do my best here to get the glare out of here. But I mean, when you take a look at that Spirit with Freedom figure and just how fantastic he looks, um, obviously that's just something that I had to purchase. Obviously, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow is one of my favorites. Absolutely had to get him. Alba looked great. I have a trooper back there, hard to see, but he is back there. And Crimson Guardsman as well. And then I picked up a few others. Obviously, I'm going to get a Neil because of the history with him and him being one of my first GI Joes, and also a General Hawk figure that I had as a child, and then also Stalker because he looks so great, so I had to get him. So that is the classified GI Joe section, and then I also kept the artwork as well. I usually don't keep the packaging that figures come in, but in this particular case, I did. I think that the artwork is fantastic on these, and I think it looks really good up here, so I put it here as well. This here is a set piece. I think there are 5 figures in there, and this was given to me as a gift a few years back, even before I started collecting my GI Joe collection. And it was a really special gift from somebody very special, and really appreciated that gift. And it sort of kind of got the ball rolling on recollecting GI Joe. I'm not sure if it did or didn't, but it's really a great gift box. See if I can take it down so that we can take a look at it better. But that is the classified line. So here's a better look at the box of the Cobra Legions. This was the 25th anniversary, released back in 2007. And I got this one as a Christmas gift, I think maybe 2 years ago or so. And it's a 5-piece set. I think that there were other two sets that were released that year as well, both for GI Joe, but this was the only Cobra one that was released. And it's got some great artwork, not only in the front, but as well as on the back. And this is the back of the box. As you can see, the artwork is really fantastic. I'm not sure who they got to do the artwork, but you'll see with some of the characters like Destro and the Baroness and Storm Shadow, Zartan and Monkey Wrench and the rest of them. Really looks like maybe they got somebody from the Sambo cartoon to do this, or they used stills. I'm not sure how they did it, but just really fantastic artwork as well. You can see some of the actual comics that are portrayed on the box, and those are real comics. So just some fantastic artwork on it. And it's not only just there, but as well, you'll see it's just on the side. So the artwork continues all around the box. So really a fantastic looking piece. Let's take a look inside. So that's inside the box, and as you can see there, the artwork, the great artwork just continues, and that's the 5-piece set. You have Storm Shadow, different versions of Storm Shadow, a Cobra Trooper, Cobra Commander. It's got the Cobra Vehicle Driver, and then it has a Cobra Air Trooper, which I don't think they ever released him back in the 80s. I think it was an original creation for the 25-year anniversary set of G.I. Joe, and you can see him there. And again, I apologize for the glare, but he's there next to the driver, and of course Cobra Commander on top. And you can see that the artwork just continues on in the background. Just really fantastic artwork throughout this entire box, from the flags right down to the ribbons at the bottom of the stage that they're on. This particular Storm Shadow is a little bit different and odd. I guess they were doing something different back then, and they thought they needed something different for the 25th year anniversary. I thought it would look just a lot better if they stuck to the original concept, but that's what they did. So fantastic piece. It does. I don't recall what it says, but if you did press the Cobra emblem here at the bottom, it made some sort of sound. I don't remember what it was. The batteries are long dead, and I'm not taking this thing apart. It's too nice to take apart. So fantastic artwork. I wish I could display it like this somewhere next to the other dioramas that I have, but again, it's just lack of room and don't have it yet. I don't know. Maybe I will. So that is that particular box, and we'll continue on with the collection. So as my G.I. Joe collection started to expand, I had to start thinking of new places to put my collection, as the closet was getting full. And originally I didn't want to put any of the collection anywhere else in my office, but it just kept growing and growing and ran out of places, and the closet got too small. So I ended up putting it in here. So this is on top of a bookcase that I have in my office. And we'll start off here with the Tomahawk. Now, the Tomahawk is the gift that I got for either my birthday or Christmas of '86. The mothballs. The mothballs are basically my way of creating clouds. It actually looks so much better from down this angle than it does on top. Doesn't look that great, especially with the dust. I'm probably going to get killed for that, for showing that. But you know, we're here to see the collection, not worry about if there's dust on it or not. But anyways, there's a Tomahawk. Got that for '86. I love the fact that you could just pile it up with GI Joes in there. It fits up to 7 GI Joes. I have lift ticket, and also the pilot of the Dragonfly, Wild Bill, piloting that. Dragonfly is probably something else that I'm going to get. I used to have the Tigerfly, but I think I'm going to get the Dragonfly, and at some point as well, and put it up here in the bookcase as well. So we got Crazy Legs. Had a very good friend when I was a child who had crazy legs, so I had to get this fellow. Reminds me of him, so he's in my collection. I have Ripcord, who's jumping out of the Tomahawk. And then I have a Tiger Force figure. I had this figure as a child, the only Tiger Force figure that I have, the only one that I plan on having. I just thought he looked so great, especially in the Tomahawk. He actually looked like he was somebody that had the helmet and the visor to be piloting something or other. So I put him in the Tomahawk. I think he looks great there. And that again is one of my favorite vehicles. And next up is the Cobra Rattler. Now this Cobra Rattler is not complete, and it's missing a lot of pieces, missing a lot of parts here. I do have all the bombs. The landing gear, of course, always breaks on this one as well. It's broken. I got this at a great price, private sale nearby. He has a Wild Weasel in it. Nobody in the back canopy. It's a bit busted, so I have to keep it together. And I never had this as a child, and I got this great base off online as well on eBay. There's a guy out there that makes these great bases. It actually says Rattler on it. Cobra, let's see here, Cobra Rattler. If you can see it, I'm not sure, but and this particular fellow makes these stands. I got one as well for a trouble bubble, that's in my diorama, and they're really great stands. And this has been here for quite a while now, so it works well and it looks great. It looks fantastic. Now, originally the plan was to simply just collect G.I. Joe, but obviously, once you start collecting, you don't stop. So I started collecting other toys that reminded me of the 80s, mini toys like the A-Team, like Rambo, are toys that I had as a child. And that's why I collected that. But wrestling was big in the 80s, and if you were a kid in the 80s, then you were a wrestling fan. So I have a lot of wrestling figures, present modern day figures that represent figures of the 80s and some of the 90s as well. You'll see Optimus Prime. Never had him as a kid, but I always wanted him, so I did get him as an adult. Same thing with the Superpowers. I loved that cartoon, Super Friends, as a kid, so that was something definitely that I was going to get. Specifically, remember that Batman being everywhere. So the collection just kept growing and growing, and it continues. And eventually I just ran out of space and I started putting things in front of books on my bookshelf because I'm just really out of space. So these are some of the other things that I had as a child. Some of them are from my childhood, some of these vehicles. So I had to find a space, and that's where I put them. And finally, on the very last bookshelf that I have in my office is a WWE replica belt. This belt was not only the championship belt in WWE, but as well in WCW during the Monday Night Wars, and also the NWA in the 80s. Always remember Ric Flair holding that belt, and in my opinion, it's still the best looking belt in the history of wrestling. Anyways, folks, that's my collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, then hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.